Let's rock and roll, huh?
Let's rock and roll, Jakobe. I am so glad to have you as a volunteer at the Jungle Hub. You've been a great help. You've been working, we together have been working in so many different areas. We've been doing all the meals together, some killer meals, as you call them. We've been doing some soil. We've been
Planted some seeds.
planting seeds, exactly. And today it was amazing. We did the chipper.
Yeah, cut down a
Going,
couple trees. We've started the renovations for the chicken coop, preparing for
So we made some
receiving some
holes.
chickens. Yeah, dug quite a few holes.
Excellent. Yeah. And I wanted to take the opportunity that you are here, and because you're the type of guy who is not shy about talking about anything, but you can also go really deep. Then I had to take the chance to interview you. And I have a couple questions for you. My first would be, what is your current life situation? Because you mentioned you just graduated
I
college
just graduated college.
in
Yeah.
biology, and normally when a lot of people come as volunteers in between things, like in between jobs or after graduation, but usually they are very focused and they already have a very clear plan, and they maybe even they have already done some applications to start working as soon as possible. It seems like they have a certain urgency. And what the first thing I noticed about you when you began to talk a little bit about your current moment, I was surprised to hear new answers. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, certainly. So, little background for me. I am currently 24 years old. I actually turn 25 May 24th. So, in about a month or so. Um, from Arizona in the United States. And this past December, I just graduated, like you had mentioned, from college, from ASU, Arizona State University, with a degree in biology and a minor in psychology. Um, then that's the big question of what's next, right? After you finish college, I've graduated debt free, so kind of utilizing that to go travel. So for the next 12 to 15 months, I'll be in all different parts of the world is my goal. I don't know how long I'll make it, where I'll be guided, and what will spark joy and what will be difficult. But yeah, this trip is kind of like my introduction to travel and figuring out what I like about it, what I don't like. So I started, 2 weeks here at the Jungle Hub. And then I've got 3 more weeks, or about 4 more weeks actually, in Costa Rica for total time. I'll be here for my birthday. So kind of celebrating, quarter way to 100, which is the goal to at least see 100. But yeah, I'm in a transition time. I'm figuring out, discovering, remembering, parts of myself that have existed for, millennia, and my astral self, kind of discovering or remembering coming into that which feeds my soul most. So yeah.
Yes, I remember you telling me a lot of things too, like you want to do something artistic, or you tried to start to play the guitar, or here you wanted to see what kind of artistic thing you can start doing. Then you come to the Jungle Hub where you're going to be 2 weeks here out here in the middle of nothing. So it seems what seemed to me is like you really don't have a rush to start to rush into your next phase of your life, and you are making yourself very good questions, right? What is there for you next cannot be figured out so quickly. So you're trying to tune into yourself.
Yeah.
We do meditation, all kinds of nice things. So yeah, I wanted to set it up like that. So how did you find us, and why did you choose the Jungle
The
Hub?
Jungle Hub, yeah. I found you through World Packers, which is an organization that partners with programs in places all across the globe. And I was just searching on there because Costa Rica was calling out my name, and initially I was coming for a yoga certification, which is what I'm going to do for the next 3 weeks after the Jungle Hub. And I wanted to spend more time in Costa Rica. I've been here once before, a couple of years ago, and it's a beautiful country. So I was, looking at opportunities. What can I do? Where can I spend my time? Where can I get the most out of a enriching experience that's fulfilling for me? So that's where I turned to World Packers, and looking online of places that are aligned with me, and that's when I came across the Jungle Hub. And I see like ecological project and permaculture, and living out in nature. There's no stores nearby, no coffee shops, no markets, no traffic. It's fully immersed in nature, doing real work, putting my hands in the soil and tending to the earth. And that's, I think, exactly what I was looking for, especially being in a city for quite some time. I hadn't traveled in a bit. I'm a very outdoorsy person. I love nature. So I was just wanting to be fully immersed. And what a better place to do it than here at the Jungle Hub, where I'm staring at a beautiful view of luscious green trees that are centuries old, and a whole property with delicious fruits and food that feeds the guests, and has fed me as a volunteer here, and beautiful property that's been curated so precisely, and everything has been built with intention and time, and the dedication that you've put into this place really shines through, and has thoroughly impacted me. So, but yeah, I found you through World Packers, and I was looking, exploring my options. You're the only place that I applied to, though, because I was like, there wasn't any other place that really struck me like here.
I get that a lot.
Yeah. So I applied, and there's a series of what is it, like 15 questions or something. And I think that was a really good sign for me, because it again just emphasizes intention, and almost these questions was perceiving as almost a filter. So it kind of shows that there's a little bit of a higher standard here, and self-worth and worth in general. And so I took my time with the application and answered the questions in all truth and honesty, and knowing very well that I felt like it would align, and if it did, great. If it didn't, so be it. But to no surprise, lo and behold, it did, and here I am.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, Jakobe, what was your first impression when you first enter the Jungle Hub Valley? When you saw the mountains, maybe when you went up here to the terrace.
Yeah. My first impression on the way in here was, holy shit, that road is steep.
Yeah.
Coming in, and especially when you kind of take that last turn from the main road, which turns into a dirt road long before you travel on a dirt road for a little bit. You turn in onto the road that the Jungle Hub is located on. And I was just, constantly wondering, all right, I'm like looking at the property. I'm like, oh, maybe this is it. He's going to turn in right here. And then no, we just kept going down, down, down into this canyon. And I, in our interview, you had said, you're fully immersed in nature. There's nothing around. I was like, okay, I didn't really know what to expect. And then coming here, it's like that view is nuts. You're not looking at any other houses. You're just looking at raw, practically untouched nature, aside from the local cattle farmers. There's beautiful untouched pieces of nature that have been thriving since, the dawn of time, to an extent. And that right there is awe-inspiring and jaw-dropping. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah,
So a couple of times during the check-in, you mentioned that you had had a killer day. I think that's how you put it.
yeah,
Can you tell us a little bit about those killer days? What was involved? What made it killer?
yeah, definitely. Killer, or the other word that I use is kick-ass.
Yeah.
Killer kick-ass days. Um, yeah, the other day I had a really great day. It was Sunday, and Sundays here at the Jungle Hub. In the mornings, we go down to the waterfall, which is a very sacred and beautiful, serene piece of nature that I can just soak in, for eternity, really. And and I decided to kind of go explore downstream a little bit, and I had a little bit, but there was a portion where I kind of had to jump in and swim a little bit, and so that kind of always stopped me. But this time I decided to go explore, and I went in nothing but my shorts. I wasn't wearing any shoes, no shirt. It was just, I felt very primal, and hopping through the rocks. Every turn that I made in the canyon was an equally as beautiful view, and stopping and just listening to the birds, to the insects, to the rushing water. I came across several different swimming holes, and there was nobody around. It was peaceful and serene. And at the same time, I was, at times on all fours. I was jumping from rock to rock, and, beating my own chest like a primate. Like I felt very primal, and there's something that's extremely healing and, releasing, in that way. And so I would say that was, probably one of my favorite days, and stopping and looking at the big and the grandiose, looking at the trees, looking down the view of the river, seeing how water has carved this canyon, but then at the same time stopping and looking in the water and seeing little tadpoles or cool stones, or finding quartz in the river, looking simply at this beautiful moss or lichen on a tree, and just being in awe of nature and an observer of nature. And I think that's probably, one of the greatest things about this place is that you get to observe nature. The first day that I was here, I saw several toucans for the first time, and have now become very familiar with what they sound like, and being able to spot them in a tree. And that's a memory that I'll hold on for a long time. So that's one piece of a killer day. The other pieces are the kick-ass meals, man. We meet breakfast, lunch, and dinner around the same time every day, and we make fresh food that we have gotten at the local market, or from the property here, from your own labor, the fruits of your labor. And so we meet together and eat delicious meals, sitting with intention. That I think is huge for me. I love to cook, so yeah, the I'd say the combination of the nature and the food fuels my soul more than anything else.
So, what's your favorite food here?
Oh goodness. Okay, so for breakfast, my two favorites are the granola with fresh coconut milk. It's like nothing else
Granola that we did ourselves,
that we
right?
made. Yeah, that
Yeah.
we made here. Um, and then my other favorite breakfast is when we do eggs, avocado, and bread. That is right up my alley. And it's fresh bread that we make with sourdough and lots of seeds and grains. So that's what I say for breakfast. For lunch, I really like the quinoa salad and the chicken tacos. For dinner, pizza, which is tonight. Pizza's really, really good. Another sourdough pizza. Um, and let's see, I really like the simple but delicious is the fried cheese tacos. Those are good.
That's the signature finca tacos.
Yeah, finca tacos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also a favorite for many. So I'm not surprised there. So what wraps up your killer days? Because I remember you mentioning like it was this and then it was that, and you mentioned like four things. Uh, what else makes it a killer day?
Yeah. So it's really nice because here at the Jungle Hub, you've got a lot of free time to do what you want, and so in my free time, I've done a few things. I've done a lot of yoga, which has been really nice. Yoga and beautiful views of a 200-year-old Guanacaste, or a view you can see the ocean and all of the greenery before it. Those are my two favorite places to do yoga, and reconnecting with peace and serenity, and listening to nothing else but that of the healing sounds of nature. Oh, I've also really enjoyed one of the great things about the Jungle Hub here, and for your time, Guillermo, is the time that you take to check in with your guests and to teach them a little bit about meditation. So around 5:30 every day, we sit up on the deck, we watch the beautiful sunset and marvel at the moon, Jupiter, Venus, the array of colors beaming from the sun onto the clouds, listening to the sometimes cicadas and night birds starting to call. And we do a check-in, and a check-in is simply a time for guests, volunteers, and Guillermo to talk about how you feel. And everybody else is there in silence, listening, not giving listening cues like yeah, oh, not probing with questions. It's your floor, and you can take as much time or as little time as you want. Sometimes I'll sit there for a quick second, just relish in the silence, think about my thoughts for a little bit more, and then I'll go on again for another 5 minutes, just talking about my day to day, which is really nice to recollect. I mean, time, as I've said from the beginning, moves very fast but very slow at the same time. It's that days go by very slow, weeks go by very fast. So it's really nice to sit down and check in with yourself, with the other people on the property, to see how you're feeling and how they're feeling. And then we kind of sit there for a little bit and observe. And we go, all right, shall we start? Let's do some meditation. We go inside, sit down, maybe stretch a little bit, get our bodies loose, sit on a nice meditation pillow, get comfortable, and I just listen to the sound of Guillermo's voice. And I relax, and I pay attention to my thoughts. Take big deep breaths, slow down, let the mind calm. And at first, when I first came, it was very difficult. My mind was racing so much, especially coming from the city, from the craziness of traveling. And after being here for what day is it? It's Tuesday. Yeah. I guess almost 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow. I've noticed, even in a short amount of time, such a dramatic change in my mental clarity, my own stillness, and that's been widely attributed to the intentional meditations, the intention to sit down every day for 20 to 30 minutes, and if even, and just sit and intentionally feel your body. What do you feel? Do I feel the blood pulsing through my veins? Do I feel my root chakra grounding down into the earth? Do I feel my crown chakra beaming a beam of light up and connecting to the sun? Can I feel my breath? Can I feel the tip of my nose? And just sitting and feeling is really, really nice. So much so that even after a few days, I started to incorporate another meditation throughout the day, in my free time, either in the morning or maybe after lunch, and just sitting in practice, because that's what meditation is. It's just a daily practice. It's intentional time to sit down and relax and feel. So a huge, huge highlight, and something that I will definitely take with me, and will catalyze a journey of meditation for me. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's what you say. It's the intention of doing it. For me personally, the check-in and the meditation are the highlights of the day. The check-in we are only doing for about a year and a half. We didn't start doing that before. It was before a private thing, and now it became something for everybody. And I think it's a nice addition and a
Yeah.
nice change. And yeah, the meditation, I am very happy to hear that just in a matter of a few days you saw a difference in your mental clarity, and yeah, that's the purpose. I think giving yourself the practice of feeling instead of thinking, that's the key.
Yeah.
And that's what I really try to emphasize. So thank you for that feedback.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so my last question to you, Jakobe. What is the most valuable thing that you take from the Jungle Hub that you're going to try to apply to your day-to-day life?
I think in all honesty, I think I can narrow it down to one thing that covers a very wide array of topics and ways of being and existing. And that's simply living with intention. This place has been curated intentionally, has been built with dedication, time, energy, effort, blood, sweat, tears. All of it has been built on intention. Everything we do here, when we cook, we're cooking intentionally. Before we eat, we stop intentionally, think, prepare our bodies, and then, consume. When we meditate, we sit with intention. This interview, this is intention. This is effort put in for, growth, for the benefit of the Jungle Hub, for people to discover and learn about what it's like to be here. And so I think for myself, what I will take most is living more with intention in everything that I do, and being aware of what I'm doing and what I'm thinking with intention. And that's what the Jungle Hub's built on. That's what you come to the Jungle Hub to experience, is intentional living. Intentions for those mango trees that have been growing for 10 years
More.
yeah. And take a long time for fruits of your labor to arise, but that is intention. The greenhouse, all the plantings that we did, that's intentions for the future.
Well, that is beautiful. I recognized very quickly that you're only 24, but you're very wise. So that's a very wise answer, because it really does wrap up everything that we offer here. And it's the most valuable lesson for your life, because it doesn't matter what you do next.
Yeah.
As long as you do it with intention, you will always be guided.
Yeah.
And I have nothing more to say. You've been very eloquent, and also very abundant in your explanation. So I really thank you for that. And yeah, I can't wait to hear back from you a few years from now to see where you're at. Maybe you come back and do another volunteering round.
Definitely. I hope so.
So,
can I ask you a question?
sure.
I feel like you have seen so many guests at this point. I think you're saying 130, 140
Last time I
people that have,
counted, yeah.
yeah, that have come through here. And we were talking today. You've got more coming. Um, what is that like to experience and see change in people from, when they come, maybe they're a little bit more antsy or struggle with the meditations, and over time, for however long they stay here, they reap the benefits of this intentional living, of this day to day immersed in nature lifestyle. What is that like for you to witness, and also to be the forefront as the guide and the leader in that role?
Well, it is very rewarding, obviously. It is incredibly rewarding because something in my heart was yelling at me when I was back in my previous mainstream life that I needed to change and I needed to do that. I needed to somehow gather the courage and do it. And it wasn't easy, it was a whole process. But seeing how beautifully this has turned out, like way beyond my wildest dreams, this has turned out just exactly the kind of lifestyle that I want to have. So it doesn't feel like I'm working, even for my own lifestyle. And then the fact that my business model is my lifestyle, it's a very unique place to experience life from, right? And I love permaculture and I love being as self-sufficient as I can, and this seems to, I don't know, this seems to inspire others, and this is exactly the how it works. So it works by reciprocity. Is one of the big pillars here at the Jungle Hub from our philosophy, and it's the concept that it doesn't matter if you're a guest or a volunteer. There is this exchange of value, right? It doesn't. If you're a volunteer, there is so much you give here, and then also so much you take. So it doesn't. I guess it doesn't really matter to who's the guide and who's the apprentice or the volunteer or the guest. It's we are all one big community here, and I see myself a lot like the maintenance guy here, or like the guy, the finances guy, the guy that has to pay the bills. So you pay me, and I pay the bills. Um, and yeah, I don't necessarily feel that I'm guiding anybody. I think the biggest change that people experience here have a lot to do with the nature here and the peace and the silence. I'm there, sometimes I'm alone here with a guest, and I'm the cook, I am the nature guide, I am the chauffeur, and also the meditation guide. But it feels like, I don't know, this is my lifestyle. I like living like this, and I'll do it if it's a good customer. I'll be happy to do it. I've been here also alone with volunteers, and it's always worked out just perfect. And yeah, it's just very rewarding at many levels, right? For myself, for the kind of life that I want to have, for my personal goals, but also to see the people that come here, and in a matter of 5 days they have completely transformed. Their facial expression is a lot more relaxed. Uh, they don't seem to be much stressed anymore about whatever it is that they brought from their city or from their lifestyle. And it's amazing. It's amazing to see them leave completely changed, with new ideas for their lives and stuff like that. And it's also amazing to keep track, and to stay in touch with some of them that are doing now the virtual check-in, which is a new thing we introduced, and it seems like a community is beginning to form. So I just keep getting surprised by how this project is evolving, and it's nice. So thanks for the question.
Yeah, yeah. I've got another question for you here. As somebody who, I guess you bought the property in 2013, is that correct, right?
Yes.
2013, it's 2026. It's a long time. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who want to live a lifestyle similar to this, to grow their own food, be a little bit more immersed in nature and out of the city. What piece of advice or what message do you have for somebody who wants to live a lifestyle like this, or wants to get the ball rolling?
Yeah, great question. So a lot of the times you're already, you at least you feel that you're already quite trapped or quite consumed in your day-to-day chores, and you think it's difficult to change, but nothing is impossible. Especially if you're young and still don't have any kids, it's just so easy. It's just do it, you know. Do it. Do more of it. If you have a job that you still don't want to quit, do it. Practice on the weekends, you know. Go to your next national park and be there for the whole weekend. Start buying better food, right? Start learning to cook. Start practicing with it more and more and more. And whenever you're ready, take some days off and go visit any community that you want, that you research, that is close to you, or that is where you want to do vacation or whatever. Come to the Jungle Hub, you know, immerse yourself in it 100% to see if that's really what you want. That's the nice thing about the volunteering program. Is short enough that, you know, it's not a such a time commitment to come here 2 weeks, but it's also long enough that it will give you a good taste of what this lifestyle is really about, because we're just living, we're just doing the day to day. We're going to San Ramon on Fridays to run errands, and we're doing whatever the farm needs us to be doing. And not only does it give you a hint or a glimpse of what that lifestyle looks like, but you also learn a lot. So yeah, go to your next hub, wherever it is, and try it out. But yeah, start mentalizing yourself that nothing is impossible, and you can start little. You can start by doing those little changes I mentioned, or by giving yourself 2 weeks and going checking it out from within.
Cool, cool, beautiful. Thank you for that answer.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Okay, so I think it's time to wrap it up. Thanks a lot, Jacoby,
yeah.
once more, and yeah,
Thank you so much, Guillermo, for having me here and on the property and sharing your life and your lifestyle with me, cooking beautiful meals and letting me see parts of your soul. Um, to that, I bid you adieu.
thank you, Jacoby. It's been great with you. You're a very good volunteer and a very nice person to share my life with. So
Thank you.
it works out, the reciprocity.
Yeah,
So thank you, man.
yeah, of course.